Power bank, so I can't even charge if I run out of power anywhere. I don't have any more power banks. This one here, it doesn't turn on anymore at all. LEDs don't do anything. Nothing comes out. Doesn't connect anything. So it's gonna be difficult to stay here. I'm gonna have to plug in the A50 to charge the U52, but it doesn't provide any power over just keeping the phone from draining. So I think it's only like 5 watts or something that comes out of the A50 to charge the A52. So it barely keeps it from draining. It barely keeps it from draining the battery. It doesn't actually charge it much. At the very least, we can charge the A50 to 100%, and it should be enough to keep the A52 from dying. This cheese is no good. I need cheese is, but I'm not sure if it's any good. It doesn't seem to be. Doesn't seem to be very good cheese. burping shit than cheese. So cottage cheese is actually pretty good. It's, when it's not poison. I told her last night when I was eating it because I ate two of those containers. It's got this burping shit in it. Let's go ahead and go away to the station. Now, the A50 had the same issue with that USB board. Granted, from the looks of it, it was opened. Because when I opened it the first time, the screws were loose. Very, very, very loose. So, and then I found some loose screws on the laptop as well. So, the A50 was opened before I bought it or after I bought it, which is probably why that USB port stopped working. They did something inside the phone to get that USB board to stop working like it should. So there's nothing that I can do with it other than replace that board. So this power bank, like I said, this is the last one. I had another one that wasn't charging and it wasn't holding charge and it was always disconnecting. So I opened it up. All of them are Mophie, by the way, and all of these power banks that I had issues with are the Mophie brand, which is a California brand. The Belkin, some kind of brand designed in California and manufactured in China, as everything is. The Belkin charger that I have, that's supposed to be 18 watts, is another quote-unquote California brand. So like I said, they, leading up to this, they started manufacturing these knockoff products that are, the laptop, the charger, the USB wire, that are easily, easily sabotaged to get them to stop working. So it's the reason, it's the reason why the laptop is, it's the reason why that, the keyboard on the laptop doesn't work now. The USB ports aren't disconnecting on the laptop. The A50, the USB board is broken. 2 power banks are now not working. So you see, everything is kind of like, everything stops working. And all of them are USB. It usually has a problem with the USB ports. Usually. It's always usually some kind of problem with the USB ports every time. So, now like I said, normally on BIOS update we'll get the USB ports working, but not always, as you can see. Not always, as you can see. So. Like I said, the A50 is barely enough to keep the A52 from draining. Yeah, so maybe I'll get 5% over half an hour, but that's about it. Plugging in the A50. So it's and the A50 drains overnight anyway. It doesn't hold battery at all. So I gotta look at it and look at it, but I don't know what else to do to it to stop it from draining the battery. It's like I said, it's a very, very big issue with these fake updates. These fake updates, and it's a very, very big issue because that's the reason why it drains. I haven't been able to correct it. I'm using more or less the same commands that I'm using on the A52. The A52 works fine. With the exception of last night when he was constantly fucking vibrating, trying to turn it on for half an hour. But yeah, it's okay. I'll open up this power bank as well. See if there's a way to mess around with it to see if I can get the USB ports working again. What kind of cheese is good enough these days? Again, because of the shit we ate yesterday. Now, like I said, beyond the main course, which sometimes is also shit. Not really a good idea to eat anything else. Today is Monday, so it's probably going to be more vegan shit as always, just like last time. So I'm bringing in vegan shit on Monday as well. Very busy day yesterday. Southern British soldiers in here in full force, protesting again. Something about Extinction Rebellion, because apparently the hominid is not the most common individual on the planet. What is this Extinction Rebellion shit anyway? What's it supposed to be about? Environmentalism, or I think it has a hidden meaning behind it. I think they're talking about something else. this Romanian guy yesterday was telling me about some former Nazis trying to pass a law in Germany to kick out anybody that wasn't in school or held down a job. Well, like I said, you know, it's a slippery slope to third world conditions where everybody's, well, you got a certain section of the population that's productive, and then you have another section which is entirely on welfare and benefits. You know, London, like I said, is very big on this. Sweden is like this. Denmark is like this. Germany is like this. Most of these advanced economies that shouldn't really have this problem took on the mantle of socialism. So it's a, you know, the reason why is because it helps out bring in the, you know, helps bring in the third worlders to keep them on a welfare leash, in a nice benefit leash, and it helps bring them in and keep them around. Like I said, the reason why they bring them in is because of the training program. There's no other reason why they bring them in. You know, their cell phone hacking and training program is the reason why they bring in the migrants, and all of them are third worlders. And pretty soon, every country in Europe will look like a third world country because of the mass immigration that they bring over this training program. So, and they were saying that the reason they were doing that is because they were trying to pretend that they're me. Because we did this in the past in Romania and other places, where we kicked out the homeless and the poor, and like I said, homelessness was an issue for Europe after Genghis Khan. Homelessness was never an issue for white Europeans, except in this case, because reasons. You know, we are sanctioned from having any property or money because someone stole something. Go figure. The irony of that is quite astonishing. I am sanctioned from owning property or having any significant amount of money because someone actually stole something. That's what they're saying. Like I said, homelessness in the past in Europe was started after Genghis Khan invaded. Understand? White Europeans were never fucking homeless. Understand? Sure, we had wars and shit, and that would cause it temporarily, but it was never an issue in Europe, you know, except after Genghis Khan invaded. Oh, I'm surprised the neighborhood is open. It's empty now. It's going to be full by the time I get over there.
next train to depart from platform 3 will be the 0918 Southeastern service to Gravesend via Sidcup. Corridors Waterloo East, London Bridge, Hither Green, Lee, Mottingham, New Elton, Sidcup, Albany Park, Bexley, Crayford, Dartford, Stone Crossing, Greenhithe, Swanston, Northfleet and Gravesend. This train has 10 coaches. Platform 3 for the 0918 Southeastern service to Gravesend via Sidcup. This train does not convey any toilet facilities.
Our station staff are here to help tolerate threatening or abusive behaviour whilst doing their job. Let's work together to keep everyone safe.
The next train to depart from platform 3 will be the 0912 Southeastern service to Dartford via Woolwich Arsenal.
If you see something that doesn't look right, please speak to staff or text British Transport Police on 61016. We'll sort it. See it, say it, sort it.
Excuse me. Currently out of service. Please speak to a member of staff if you need further assistance.
This is for public use. No, yeah, you can sit down and charge your phone. You're not allowed to sleep.
No, we're not going to sleep here forever.
You can sit down, they're not sleeping.
No, everyone has a problem with these days.
Please.
No one's going to come all the way right to the 16th floor just to sit next to her. Friends are going to wake me up anyways.
You're not allowed to lie down.
You can never down here.
It's not about being good. You're not allowed to sleep.
I'm not sleeping.
You're not allowed to lie down, yeah?
Well, I am.
Yeah, sit down.
It's my body, my rules. If you don't feel, I'll just lay down. I don't see any signs of it's comfortable.
You can sit down, you're not allowed to lie down. That's what I'm saying. That is the policy of the company.
No,
That's me.
please don't sleep.
Huh?
Please don't sleep.
The next train to depart from platform 4 will be the 0940 Southeastern service to Dover Priory via Ashford International. Corridors Waterloo East, London Bridge, St Leonards, Tunbridge, Haddockwood, Marden, Spadehurst, Headbourne, Pluckley, Ashford International, Westerham, Sandley, Folkestone West, Folkestone Central and Dover Priory. This train has 8 coaches. Due to a short platform, passengers for Westerham should walk the front 5 coaches. Platform 4 for the 0940 Southeastern service to Dover Priory via Ashford International. There are usually many seats available on this train. The next train to depart will be the 0942 Southeastern service to Dartford via Woolwich Arsenal. Waterloo East, London Bridge, Lewisham, Blackheath, Charlton, Woolwich Dockyard, Woolwich Arsenal, Plumstead, Anfield, Belvedere, Ealing, Sainsbury and Dartford. This train has 10 coaches. Platform 1 for the 0942 Southeastern service to Dartford via Woolwich Arsenal. Sorry, standard toilets on this train are out of use. Please note, some of the Italy France and Wood are currently out of service. Please speak to a member of staff if you need further assistance. The next train to depart from platform 1 will be the low line 42 South Eastern service to Dartford via Woolwich Arsenal. Calling at Waterloo East, London Bridge, Lewisham, Blackheath, Charlton, Woolwich Dockyard, Woolwich Arsenal, Plumstead, Abbeywood, Belvedere, Erith, Slade Green and Dartford. This train has 10 coaches. Platform 1 for the low line 42 South Eastern service to Dartford via Woolwich Arsenal. The next train to depart from platform 6 will be the low line 45 South Eastern service to Hastings via Tunbridge Wells. Calling at Waterloo East, London Bridge, Orpington, St Luke's, Tunbridge, High Brooms, Tunbridge Wells, Frant, Wadhurst, Stonegate, Etchingham, Robertsbridge, Battle, Crowhurst, West St Leonard's Warrior Square and Hastings. This train has 8 coaches. Platform 6 for the low line 45 South Eastern service to Hastings via Tunbridge Wells. There are usually many seats available on this train. Sorry, some toilets on this train are out of use.
Please keep your personal belongings with you at all times when on the station. For your safety and security, CCTV is in constant use. If you see something that doesn't look right, please speak to staff or text British Transport Police on 6116. We have sorted.
Someone's already come in.
The next train to depart from platform 5 will be the low line 34 South Eastern service to St Luke's.
That's why I called it now, but yeah, they came in.
London Bridge, Orpington, Chelsea, Knockholt, London Green and
That's fine.
This train has 10 coaches. Platform 5 for the low line 34 South Eastern service to St Luke's. This train will not be halted in Green, Oakley, Chislehurst and Hexwood today. This is due to a broken down train earlier today.
Yeah, tell the police
that's fine.
The next train to depart from platform 6 will be the low line 45 South Eastern service to Hastings via Tunbridge Wells. Calling at Waterloo East, London Bridge, Orpington, St Luke's, Tunbridge, High Brooms, Tunbridge Wells, Frant, Wadhurst, Stonegate, Etchingham, Robertsbridge, Battle, Crowhurst, West St Leonard's Warrior Square and Hastings. This train has 8 coaches. Platform 6 for the low line 45 South Eastern service to Hastings via Tunbridge Wells. There are usually many seats available on this train.
Oh, guys, right.
Yeah.
Just had on the station stuff last week, saying that
Yeah,
they've asked you to leave and...
No, basically, so back on the screen.
The next train to depart from platform 2 will be the low line 48 South Eastern service to Gravesend via Sidcup. Calling at Waterloo East, London Bridge, Hithergreen, Lee, Mottingham, New Elton, Sidcup, Albany Park, Bexley, Crayford, Dartford, Stone Crossing, Greenhithe, Swanston, Northfleet and Gravesend. This train has 10 coaches. Platform 2 for the low line 48 South Eastern service to Gravesend via Sidcup.
Have to sit down or lay down. So I told him that, and he said, fine, I'll go get someone. So he went and got someone. I explained what happened, and then I told him that the security guard, don't ever sit there, clap your hands in my sister's face again while she's sleeping, she's waking up, and that's scary. And then that man said, the man was like, okay, that's fine, let's just leave it now. While she's still laying down, they both walk out, and then the lady asked her to sit here. He was like, yeah, that's fine, I guess. And then about 2 minutes after, another guy comes in, and I was like, we've already spoken to someone, and they said it's fine. And he was like, okay, that's fine, I'm gonna go get the police. And I was like, that's fine, we can go get them.
Well, I mean, it's not... You can't say, you waiting for a train or...
We're just waiting to charge our phones up. We won't be here long.
Where are you going afterwards? What's your plan?
We're going to confuse them.
Shall I go around it or you come...
Yeah, we. Yes, I would say that I don't see any signs that you have to sit down. You can't lay down.
It's a bit common sense, though. It's a seat, isn't it?
I mean,
Not bed.
no one's really going to come.
Well, no.
Right, like to sit here. There's
But at the same time, you've got to think, people sitting there, they want to sit down on their feet when anything else.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, but that's not best for everyone. That's why we've been asked to sit, not lay.
Because you didn't tell me about you guys, you said there's one people there
Yes.
who's sleeping on the...
The next train to depart from platform 2 will be the low line 48 South Eastern service to Gravesend via Sidcup. Calling at Waterloo East, London Bridge, Hithergreen, Lee, Mottingham, New Elton, Sidcup, Albany Park, Bexley, Crayford, Dartford, Stone Crossing, Greenhithe, Swanston, Northfleet and Gravesend. This train has 10 coaches. Platform 2 for the low line 48 South Eastern service to Gravesend via Sidcup.
Our station staff are here to help you with the journey and any questions you may have. Please respect all our staff. No one should have to tolerate bullying or abusive behaviour whilst doing their job. Let's work together to keep everyone safe.
The next train to arrive at platform 1 is not in passenger International. There are usually many seats available on this train. Please note, some of the lanes at Paddock Wood are currently out of service. Please speak to a member of staff if you need further assistance. The next train to depart from platform 4 will be the 10:40 Southeastern service to Dover Priory via Ashford International, calling at Waterloo East, London Bridge, Sevenoaks, Tunbridge, Paddock Wood, Marden, Staplehurst, Headbourne, Pluckley, Ashford International, Western Hanger, Sandley, Folkestone West, Folkestone Central and Dover Priory. This train has 8 coaches. Due to a short platform, passengers for Western Hanger should board the front 5 coaches. Platform 4 for the 10:40 Southeastern service to Dover Priory via Ashford International. There are usually many seats available on this train. The next train to depart from platform 1 will be the 10:42 Southeastern service to Dartford via Woolwich Arsenal, calling at Waterloo East, London Bridge, Lewisham, Blackheath, Charlton, Woolwich Dockyard, Woolwich Arsenal, Plumstead, Abbeywood, Belvedere, Erith, Slade Green and Dartford. This train has 10 coaches. Platform 1 for the 10:42 Southeastern service to Dartford via Woolwich Arsenal. This train does not convey any toilet facilities. Please note, some of the lanes at Abbeywood are currently out of service. Please speak to a member of staff if you need further assistance. The next train to depart from platform 1 will be the 10:42 Southeastern service to Dartford via Woolwich Arsenal, calling at Waterloo East, London Bridge, Lewisham, Blackheath, Charlton, Woolwich Dockyard, Woolwich Arsenal, Plumstead, Abbeywood, Belvedere, Erith, Slade Green and Dartford. This train has 10 coaches. Platform 1 for the 10:42 Southeastern service to Dartford via Woolwich Arsenal. This train does not convey any toilet facilities. The next train to depart from platform 6 will be the 10:45 Southeastern service to Hastings via Tunbridge Wells, calling at Waterloo East, London Bridge, Orpington, Sevenoaks, Hildenborough, Tunbridge, High Grooms, Tunbridge Wells, Frant, Wadhurst, Stonegate, Etchingham, Robertsbridge, Battle, Crowhurst, West St Leonard's, St Leonard's Torres Square and Hastings. This train has 8 coaches. Platform 6 for the 10:45 Southeastern service to Hastings via Tunbridge Wells. There are usually many seats available on this train.
Please keep your personal belongings with you at all times when on the station. For your safety and security, CCTV is in constant use. If you see something that doesn't look right, please speak to staff or text British Transport Police on 61016. We will sort it. See it, say it, sort it.
The next train to depart from platform 6 will be the 10:45 Southeastern service to Hastings via Tunbridge Wells, calling at Waterloo East, London Bridge, Orpington, Sevenoaks, Hildenborough, Tunbridge, High Grooms, Tunbridge Wells, Frant, Wadhurst, Stonegate, Etchingham, Robertsbridge, Battle, Crowhurst, West St Leonard's, St Leonard's Torres Square and Hastings. This train has 8 coaches. Platform 6 for the 10:45 Southeastern service to Hastings via Tunbridge Wells. There are usually many seats available on this train. The next train to depart from platform 2 will be the 10:48 Southeastern service to Gravesend via Sidcup, calling at Waterloo East, London Bridge, Hither Green, Mottingham, New Elton, Sidcup, Albany Park, Bexley, Crayford, Dartford, Stone Crossing, Greenhithe, Swanston, Northfleet and Gravesend. This train has 10 coaches. Platform 2 for the 10:48 Southeastern service to Gravesend via Sidcup. Sorry, some toilets on this train are out of use. 2 will be the 10:48 Southeastern service to Gravesend via Sidcup. For the next Waterloo East, London Bridge, Hither Green, Lee, Mottingham, Newarton, Sidcup, Albany Park, Bexley, Braidwood, Dartford, Stone Crossing, Greenline, Swanston, Northfleet and Gravesend. This train has 10 coaches. Platform 2 for the 10:48 Southeastern service to Gravesend via Sidcup.
Our station staff are here to help you with your journey and any questions you may have. Please respect all our staff. No one should have to tolerate threatening or abusive behaviour whilst doing their job. Let's work together to keep everyone safe.
Please keep your personal belongings with you at all times when on the station. For your safety and security, CCTV is in constant use. If you see something that doesn't look right, please speak to staff or text permission for us on 6116. Please serve.
So these service calls, they are, you can get someone, if, because I'll make them random. I don't actually know what they do, but I make some for accessibility. And some work and some don't. So apparently they are, interdependent, I guess. So, I wrote like the same service calls that I wrote for connectivity to turn off tethering, and apparently these service calls are dependent on, if there's too many in there, and they're dependent on each other. Some of them stop working, so maybe that's what happened with tethering, because now it says it doesn't have permissions, even though I did turn off the permissions for network stack and system UI and Android and stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, it seems like service calls, if you write too many, if you're not specific, looking to turn off stuff, it seems like they are dependent in service calls on each other. So each service call command is dependent on another to work. Because, like I said, I did it for accessibility, and some of them were working at first, and then they stopped working. So out of 4 that were working, I only got 2 left. So I had a total of like 15 commands for accessibility using service call. 4 of them initially worked. They returned some kind of parcel. They give you a return. And then out of the 4 that were working, only 2 were working that returned the parcel, that it did something. So it's it's very, very interesting. Like I said, I mean, I got to go through another reset to get the permissions back, to see to get all the default permissions in there, to see what it to see which app is which service call actually works with tethering, because I got it turned off before. Now it says release permissions. So is it one of the service calls, because I wrote more, that turned off the permissions, or is it the permissions themselves? I'm not sure what happened there, because now trying to turn off tethering says it needs permissions for network stack, and I'm not sure if it's the permissions that are causing this thing, or if it's the service call that I used that turned off the permissions. I'm not entirely sure. So next time I reset and I get the default permissions in there, I gotta use the service calls and figure out which ones work and which ones don't. Yeah, but I did get it working. It does turn off. It does actually turn off tethering if you leave the permissions in there, I think. I'm not sure. Or is it the other service calls that turned off the permissions? I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, I actually don't know how to write the service calls. I just, write them for the service. I started writing some for accessibility now to try and turn it off completely, because it does have a service. It does have accessibility has a service as well. Is it that I don't need right now? I don't need that service. So yeah, I got to look at it next reset. In the next reset, I will take a closer look at it and figure out which service calls which service call for tethering actually works. But I had it working, turning off tethering in the original. But it could be just permissions, and I'm missing permissions to turn it off now, because I did turn off the permissions. But was it a service call that did it, or was it the permissions? Because I wrote many service calls for the same thing, so I'm not entirely sure. It's definitely interesting, because you can write service calls for every service on the phone to turn it off. Yeah, just like you do for tethering. Tethering is a service. Accessibility is a service. Wi-Fi is a service. You can use a service call and turn off any service that you have on the phone. Right? So, was it the permissions that did it, or was it that I wrote too many service calls for tethering, which took out the permissions? I'm not entirely sure now. See, accessibility was doing the same thing. I wrote 15 or 20 accessibility commands. 4 of them were working and had a parcel return. Yeah? And then I ended up with 2 that were working. Only 2 were working in the end, and returned a parcel. So it's very, very interesting, isn't it? Very, very interesting. Now, the ones that are working initially, you definitely want to keep them. I didn't keep them. I forgot to copy them and keep them in there, because I'm not sure what they do. But I'll put them back in. I'll write them again next time and see which ones give a parcel. Because, like I said, some of the services are not necessary for me anyway. I don't need accessibility. I don't need tethering. I don't need many of the services that are running on the phone. So, yeah, very interesting. This power bank, like I said, is broken now. I can more or less rely on the A50 to keep the A52 from draining the battery, if I'm running low. But that's about it. The A52 is unreliable because it drains overnight. It drains overnight, and it's very annoying, to say the least. As now I don't have a power bank. All the Mophie shit is, like I said, I had how many power banks? 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 power banks. They stole 2 of them. Great, guys, great to know that they're insane. Thank you for reminding me. So they stole, out of 5 power banks that I had, they stole 2 of them. 20,000 milliamp and then a 15,000 that I bought from Amazon 2 years ago. 2 years ago, a year ago, during the pandemic. So they stole 2 power banks, 2 chargers, 1 USB wire, and 4 phones. Wow, it looks it's like it's targeted. Right? I mean, 2 power banks, 2 chargers, and 4 phones. This guy's a greedy fuck, huh? 2 power banks, 2 chargers, 1 USB wire, and 2 USB wires, 2 of them, and 4 phones. That's amazing, isn't it? 2 USB wires that I know of, 2 chargers, 4 phones, and 2 power banks. Yeah. That's a greedy motherfucker, ain't it? Yeah. So anyway. Go ahead and watch House of the Dragon. Let's see what they got going on. Yeah, so like I said, there's quite a bit, isn't it? Quite a bit of stuff that's missing, not to mention numerous packages. Shoes. The boots that I bought from Amazon, they were like fucking 80 pounds. 70 pounds, 80 pounds, those are missing. There's numerous packages from the connections that are missing. There's the batteries that I bought that are missing. Screen replacement for the A50 is also missing. Granted, I was supposed to pick it up before I didn't have any money to pick it up, so because I shipped it over here from America. I'm not sure what happened to it. I went to the post office. From the post office, it went somewhere else. I don't know. I'm saying that I need to pay for it to pick it up or something. I don't know. Anyway, so like I said, there's numerous packages, 4 phones, 2 power banks, 2 chargers, 2 USB wires that I know of, and who the hell knows what else? Looks like this motherfucker's a greedy shit, huh? It's a greedy little shit, huh? Interesting, interesting. So it's quite a bit of money too, at least 500 pounds. Well, if you count the phones, it's well over 1,000 pounds. You know, well over 2,000 pounds worth of stolen shit. Some 2,000 pounds worth of stolen shit. Some of it is, some of it was actually new. This motherfucker likes to nick people's shit, huh? You motherfuckers plan on keeping him around for a little while longer too, huh? Without us, without me, you motherfuckers would have had him for, had him around for a little bit longer, huh? Fucking Tooth Fairy Grinch. Yeah, the Tooth Fairy Grinch. Holy shit! I'm surprised this shit show lasted this long. Really is surprising. Yeah, so we got about around, I would say, maybe 2,000 pounds worth of shit that's missing right now in London. Right now in London, that's what we have missing. At least 2,000 pounds worth of shit. This Tooth Fairy Grinch is an ambitious thief, huh? Doesn't know when to stop. This guy is ahead of the curve when it comes to stealing people's shit. It's quite unbelievable. Quite unbelievable, guys. Granted, I would have to work 2 months at Pizza Express to make 2,000 pounds. Quite a bit of a labor over there. Working 2 months to make 2,000 pounds. If you make 2,000 pounds, most of the time, say 100, 700, whatever the hell. This Tooth Fairy Grinch is a greedy little shit, huh? You motherfuckers plan on keeping him around for a little while longer without us, huh? Yeah. He's a greedy little shit, huh? That little shit is greedy as shit, huh? So yeah, it's something to consider. Don't go to America. Try to avoid London if you're white. Well, like I said, America, I would say, is off limits to white people. They should be, at the very least, in my opinion, because of this framing program, like I said. And if you're white, I would try to avoid London as much as possible. At the very moment, as it stands right now, because obviously nothing has improved here as far as I can see. It's, those are the guidelines. Avoid America at all costs. Try to avoid London as well if you're white. So, it's like I said, so far it seems like we're working with empty promises. Oh yeah, you can kill him now for sure, guy. No, it hasn't happened yet. Oh yeah, you can do this now. It's gonna get easier. Yeah, it hasn't. I haven't seen it yet. It's just as shit as it was 7 years ago when this bullshit started. I haven't seen any of these benefits of so-called winning, guys. Apparently, that bag is the holy grail of the West. Apparently that bag is the holy fucking grail of the fucking West, guys, because I haven't seen any benefit from quote-unquote winning. It's just as shit as it was 7 years ago. And it's been 7 years, yeah. 7. Long time. Like I said, I'm beginning to have my doubts. I'm beginning to have some serious doubts. Obviously. But anyway, we'll see. Dragon are doing right now. Says he's gonna do a civil war or something over the Iron Throne. It doesn't even look that good actually. That throne is hideous. I'm tired right now. I'll go ahead and watch some good Thrones. This is Skyar, guys. Skyar hits the spot. Let's see if I can turn off WebView update. It's another shit fucking service that's not necessary. I'm gonna turn it the fuck off. See if I can turn it off. Yeah, some of the uploads and stuff are not working if background data is allowed. Because I need that to be on. I need to prevent background data from being used. Because they do that when the phone is off. When the screen is off, if you set background data to off, it defeats the framing program, right? Because that's what they do when the phone is off, or the screen is off. So you definitely want to set background data to off. Because said, they use background data, whatever service they're using, which is obviously tethering. They use background data when the screen is off and the phone is off for the framing program, so you need to turn that off. The issue is that the uploads don't work if you leave the browser and you have an upload going, it stops the upload. So you got to keep the browser open with the launcher. Keep the browser open, but you can't turn off the screen. So you can use other apps if you keep the browser open while the upload uploads, but you can't turn off the screen because it turns off the data. It turns off the data, which is exactly what you want when the screen is off. Now that's why first command in there, under beginning, is turning off background data. Because if the screen is off, it turns off all the connections, which is what you want. So I try to turn off WebView update with service call. It doesn't work. It returns a parcel, but it's a non-data parcel. So you can apparently turn off accessibility with a service call, possibly, but not WebView update. So I've got to look at other ways to turn off this service, WebView update. It's similar to tethering. It's not necessary because I'm not even using WebView. I'm just using the browser to sign in to Wi-Fi. So I don't need WebView. I don't need Captive Portal. And I'm not using WebView for any apps. I'm not using banking apps. I'm not using cloud storage apps to use the WebView. So I don't need the service itself, which is WebView update. But it doesn't seem to work with a service call to turn it off, because I've tried them all just now. Got to look into other ways to turn off WebView update. There might be other ways to do it. Let's go here and watch some Game of Thrones and stuff. They got going on.